Okay, that was on purpose. This was me 3 years ago, except it wasn't on a stage. It was in a pitch-dark bathroom in metropolitan India, and when I fell, nobody laughed. Nobody could see me, including me. I was 13. I was in a blind school I'd flown 10,000 miles to visit. And I just crashed into something I still couldn't identify. I couldn't find the sink, I couldn't find the soap, I couldn't even find the door I'd entered through. And then a calm voice broke through the dark. Umang bhaiya, aapko madad chahiye? Umang brother, do you need help? His name was Harendra. He was 16, and he'd been blind since birth. He walked in, took my hand, and traced the walls until I knew where everything was. The sink, the soap, the towel. He'd been waiting outside the whole time, just in case the sighted visitor from America needed help finding a faucet. I'd flown in there thinking I was bringing solutions. I left realizing I hadn't even bothered to understand the problem. And to explain why I was in that bathroom in the first place, I need to take you back a little further. To a year earlier, when I was 13, this whole thing started embarrassingly with a Google ad. I was building a keyboard, not a Braille one, just a custom mechanical keyboard for myself because I just ridden the high of building my own custom gaming PC. So I went deep into keyboard forums. I was pricing switches, keycaps, cables, and then completely unrelated, an ad slipped into my feed, a commercial Braille keyboard. The price tag, almost $7,000. $7,000 for a keyboard, for a child who just wanted to learn how to read. And the thing that bothered me most wasn't just the number, it was the math. The parts I'd been pricing in the other browser tab came to just $80. $80. The gap is not an engineering problem, it's a dignity problem. And I sat there in my bedroom and thought, I was literally about to build a keyboard myself from scratch for way less than $7,000. Why couldn't I apply those same skills here? So I spent the next year researching. I was 14 when I finished the first working prototype for just $10. And then I flew to India to test it with the kids who actually needed it, which is how I ended up in that bathroom. This is what the keyboard looks like now. We buy donated or retail Logitech keyboards for about $5, and usually the companies that donate them give them to us for free. We then 3D print custom Braille keycaps for about $5 a set, the total cost being $10 and sometimes even less. Through the nonprofit my team and I built, Jabil, we've shipped these keyboards to students in 6 countries: the US, India, Finland, the UAE, the UK, and Egypt. But the first one I ever built was ugly, really ugly. The keycaps were hard plastic, and after 10 minutes of typing, kids' fingers started to hurt, which isn't a detail you notice when you're designing in a basement in New Jersey. It's a detail you notice when you're watching a 16-year-old in Delhi quietly stop typing, and you can't quite figure out why. So I asked him, and he told me, and we switched the material, soft resin on top of the rigid bases. One change, the texture under a fingertip. And suddenly, kids were typing for 30, 40 minutes at a time without looking up. That pattern kept repeating. After Silver Linings, we took the keyboard to the National Association for the Blind, then the Braille Challenge in New Jersey, then 6 schools and centers across 6 countries, and every time the formula was the same. Ask the students what hurt. Change the thing, watch it work. That's a detail I want you to hold on to because I'm going to be coming back to it. Before I went to India, before I built this keyboard, before any of this, there was a man named Anwar. Most people in my town knew him as Eddie the plumber, but before America, Anwar was a trained engineer in the Middle East. When his family moved here, he started over fixing pipes and door hinges in strangers' houses. For 10 years, he was in and out of mine, and somewhere along the way, I became his apprentice. He taught me how to solder, how to patch drywall, how to listen to a leaky faucet before you even pick up a wrench. One night, he came over to fix a sink. On his way out, he stopped mid-sentence and just stared at a door. It was the door I walked through every single day, and a door I'd stopped noticing 2 years ago because it creaked. And I'd quietly decided that that creak was a part of the door now. Anwar pulled a screwdriver out of his pocket and fixed the door within 90 seconds. Then he looked at me and said, "You don't think to repair a door that is seemingly okay, but if I fix these hinges, the door would work even better." Seemingly okay. That phrase followed me everywhere. It followed me to India because Silver Linings, the blind school I visited, was seemingly okay to apartments jammed together, converted into classrooms. Steep staircases with no handrails, electrical panels hidden behind shelves of Braille books. And I just run a great demo. The students were grateful. I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then I went to the bathroom and I fell. A blind 16-year-old boy had to come rescue me. Here's the part that broke me. Harendra had been waiting. He'd anticipated before I did that I might need help. He had more empathy for my limitation than I had awareness of his daily reality. The school was seemingly okay. The old keyboards the students had were seemingly okay. The staircase with no handrail was seemingly okay. Nobody was complaining loud enough for the world to hear, so the world had just stopped listening. So here's what I believe now, and if you take nothing else from tonight, take this. The smallest fix can restore the most dignity. We have this idea, especially as young people, that changing the world has to be like a moonshot, a viral app, a billion-dollar company. We're told to dream big, and somewhere along the way, dream big got confused with dream huge. A lot of us are paralyzed because huge is terrifying, and most of us don't have a lab. But the barriers I actually see aren't huge, they're small. They're the hinges, they're the keycaps, textures that nobody tested with kids who'd use it. They're a $7,000 price tag that nobody even bothered to question. They are seemingly okay, and nobody is fixing them. The theme tonight is becoming the future, and I want to be honest about what I think it is. The future isn't a year on a calendar. It gets built quietly in the decisions we make about what we're willing to walk past. Every time you see something that is seemingly okay, and you stop and ask, but is it really? You are becoming the future. Every time you notice the thing nobody else noticed, and you care enough to fix it, you are becoming the future. Adults love to tell young people we lack experience, maybe, but here's what we have instead. We haven't yet been trained to accept that things are just the way they are. We still notice. And that instinct, the refusal to walk past, is the most valuable thing any of us have. Don't let anyone take that from you. So here's what I'm asking you all tonight. Not someday, this week, find one thing in your life that is seemingly okay. A door that freaks, a friend who might have gone quiet, a sidewalk in your town that nobody can use in a wheelchair. Anything, find one and fix it, even if that fix is small, especially if that fix is small. A few months after that first trip, I went back to Silver Linings with a new project, an IoT-powered smart cane that my team had built. Harendra stayed by my side this entire visit. But this time, he wasn't guiding me. He was learning how the cane worked. He kept running his fingers over the sensors, asking questions. At the end of the day, he held the cane out in front of him and paused and asked me one question. "This will take me anywhere I want to go?" I didn't know what to say. So I took his hand the way he'd once taken mine in the dark. I told him the only true thing I could think of. Give me your hand, and I would love to show you. The power of small change is that it doesn't solve everything. It's that it proves everything is solvable. So go find your hinge. Go find your door. Go find the thing in the world that everyone has agreed is seemingly okay, and decide tonight that seemingly okay is not good enough for you. One fix, one person, one hand reaching for another in the dark.